Most nutrition advice that you've probably received is that you need to burn more calories than you consume. Eat a good diet, exercise, and that'll keep you lean. But what if I told you that that's not the full picture? And that some of the habits that you think are healthy are actually working against you? So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 healthy habits that were preventing me from losing weight. I'm Ryan Solberg, and while I was never grossly overweight, I did rock a full-on dad bod as a Marine officer. I was working out, running, eating right, doing what I thought was right. And I couldn't figure out why I still looked soft. It wasn't until I went against the grain of conventional thinking that I finally got the physique I wanted, without starving myself. So let's get into it. So here's what I was doing. I was hitting the gym hard. I thought I was doing everything right. I was lifting weights, I was running, I was doing CrossFit. I was a Marine, so we had to stay in shape. And we would push through pain and we wouldn't really take days off. And I assumed the more training I did, the better off I would be. But I was wrong. So here's what nobody told me. When you overtrain, especially these long chronic cardio sessions, your body fights back. Your cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone, goes through the roof. Cortisol tells your body to hold on to the fat. And for guys, especially around our midsection. So I was literally training my way to keep my dad bod. So think about that. You're killing yourself in the gym and your body's response is to hold on to fat. That's not a hypothetical, that's basic physiology. Chronic high-intensity exercise without proper recovery spikes cortisol and can actually increase fat storage. When you overtrain like that, your sleep suffers, and then your testosterone plummets. And here's the kicker. Your body starts breaking down muscle tissue for fuel. So you're not actually getting leaner, you're losing muscle mass that would be burning calories for you around the clock. You're going in reverse. So here's what I should have done. I would have done strength training a few days a week with recovery days built in. Your muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow when you're recovering or sleeping. That's when the repair happens. That's when the fat burning ramps up. I would have been better off lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week or maybe running 3 or 4 times a week and actually sleeping. Not crushing myself every single day. So I'm on the carnivore diet today, and I have been for about 5 years. And I train a lot smarter now than I did in my 20s and 30s. My body composition today at 46 years old is better than it was when I was 28 years old as a Marine officer. So I'm not running myself into the ground every day like I used to be. So let that sink in. Okay, so this one's probably going to get pushbacks, but just hear me out. And all this is based on my personal experience. We've all been told the simple math, calories in, calories out. Eat less and move more. Burn more calories than you consume. Yes, on a basic level, energy balance matters. But the idea that all calories are created equal and you just need to eat less to lose weight, that is massively oversimplified. And for a lot of people, it's dead wrong. So here's what I mean. You can eat 2,000 calories of sugar, processed food, and refined carbs, or you can eat 2,000 calories of steak, eggs, and animal fats. Your body will respond completely different to those two scenarios. The hormonal response is different, the satiety is different, the effect on insulin is different. And insulin is really the key player here. It's the fat storage hormone. So when you eat carbs and sugar, your blood glucose spikes. Your pancreas releases insulin to deal with it. And when insulin is elevated, your body is in fat storage mode. You cannot be burning fat and storing fat at the same time. So if you're eating a low-calorie diet that's high in carbs, low-fat yogurt, granola bars, fruit juice, whole grain toast, whatever it is, you might be under your calorie count, but you're still not burning fat because your insulin is always elevated. So this is based off my personal experience. But when I started the carnivore diet, I honestly wasn't fully prepared for it. The weight just melted off. I could eat as much as I wanted. Full steaks, eggs, butter, all of it. And I was still losing weight. I wasn't counting a single calorie. I wasn't starving myself. I was eating until I was completely satisfied and the fat was still coming off. Now, I want to be perfectly clear. I am not promising you that you'll experience the same thing. Everyone's body is different and where you're starting from matters. But what I can tell you is this. When you start eating the right food, you stop needing to obsess over calories. You eat till you're full and your body does the rest. You don't have to starve yourself. So there will likely be an adjustment period. you're potentially undoing decades of eating processed garbage. Your body's been running on refined sugars and processed food for years, possibly even your whole life. So it's going to take time for your body to recalibrate. You might feel rough for the first week or two, like I described in my carnivore diet video, but push through it, because on the other side, you stop being hungry all the time. The cravings disappear, and your body starts running the way it was actually designed to. So while we're on this topic, I want to call out something specific that I think is a massive hidden culprit in why people can't lose weight. And that's seed oils. We're talking canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, just vegetable oil in general. In America, seed oils or vegetable oils are in everything. Restaurant food, packaged food, salad dressings, crackers, you name it, it's probably got seed oils. A lot of the fitness world completely ignores it. But here's the thing, nobody actually tells you how these seed oils are made. Most industrial seed oils go through a process where the seeds are bathed in a chemical solvent called hexane, which is a petroleum-derived chemical similar to gasoline, to extract as much oil as possible. Then the crude oil gets bleached, deodorized, and heated at extremely high temperatures. By the time it ends up in your bottle of vegetable oil, it's been through a heavily industrialized process that the food industry has zero incentive to advertise. Now here's where the real problem starts: oxidation. These oils are extremely high in polyunsaturated fats, which are chemically unstable. When they're exposed to high heat during processing or when you cook with them, they oxidize. And when they oxidize, they produce compounds called aldehydes and free radicals. So research by Professor Martin Grootveld, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, he's a bioanalytical chemistry professor in the UK. He found that food fried in these vegetable oils contain toxic aldehyde levels far above what the World Health Organization considers safe. These oxidation byproducts have been linked to inflammation, cellular damage, metabolic disruption, and potentially cancer. And here's the kicker for weight loss specifically. These oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs some omega-6, but the ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in your diet is roughly 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, depending on who you ask. And thanks to seed oils being virtually in every processed food imaginable, the average American is eating an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio somewhere between 10-to-1 and 20-to-1. That kind of imbalance drives chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation doesn't just make you feel lousy, it directly interferes with your body's ability to burn fat. It disrupts hormone signaling, including insulin and leptin, the same hormones that control hunger and fat storage. When I completely cut seed oils out on the carnivore diet, I replace them with animal fats, mainly butter and beef tallow. These are stable, saturated fats that don't oxidize the same way. My inflammation dropped, my energy went up, and the fat loss accelerated. I believe this was a bigger factor than most people realize. So the practical takeaway, you don't need to go full carnivore to fix this. But at a minimum, start reading ingredient labels. If a packaged food contains soybean oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, or anything like that, put it down. Cook with butter, tallow, ghee, or even coconut oil. Stop eating at restaurants that fry everything in industrial seed oils. That one change alone could have a meaningful impact on your inflammation, your hormones, and your ability to lose fat. All right, so this third one really ties everything together, and it blew my mind once I understood. Most diet advice tells you to just eat in a calorie deficit. Eat less than you burn and you'll lose weight. And like I said, that's technically true in the short term. But what happens over weeks and months of chronic calorie restriction is something nobody warns you about. Your body adapts. Scientists call it metabolic adaptation or adaptive thermogenesis. Your body has no idea that you're trying to lose weight. All it knows is that food intake has dropped. And from an evolutionary survival standpoint, that means one thing: famine. So your metabolism slows way down to conserve energy. Your body gets incredibly efficient at running on fewer calories. The result? Your weight loss stalls even though you're still eating less. So this is why almost everyone on a calorie-restricted diet hits a wall. You lose the first 10, 15, maybe 20 pounds, and then nothing. Then you cut calories more, nothing. You work out harder, nothing. because your body has already recalibrated. Your basal metabolic rate, which is the calories you burn just existing, that has dropped to match your intake. You've essentially trained your metabolism to be slow. And here's the real brutal part. Your hormones shift too. Leptin, which is the hormone that signals fullness, that drops. Ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, that goes up. So now you're not only burning fewer calories, you're also hungrier. Your body is literally fighting you, trying to get you to eat more. No wonder most people on long diets eventually crack and gain all the weight back. It's not weakness, it's biology. So when I switched to carnivore, I wasn't thinking about any of this. But what happened in hindsight is that I never put my body in starvation response mode. I ate to satiety. I wasn't counting or restricting calories. My insulin stayed low, I was burning fat, and my body never got the signal that food was scarce. So if you've been on a chronic calorie restriction and you feel like your metabolism is broken, there's actually a strategy called reverse dieting where you slowly increase your calories back up to rebuild your metabolic rate. The goal is to get your metabolism firing on all cylinders before you cut back. So the better long-term play is to just focus on quality food, keep your insulin low, exercise regularly, sleep well, and let your body do what it's designed to do. Don't starve yourself. Feed yourself the right things and the fat takes care of itself. I spent years doing all three of these things. Overtraining, obsessing over calories while eating garbage food or not the right food, and just going in and out of calorie deficits. I had the dad bod to prove it. None of the conventional wisdom was working for me. What finally worked was going against the grain. Training smarter, ditching processed carbs and sugar, focusing on real food that keeps insulin low. Once I did that, the weight came off and stayed off, without starving, without grinding myself into the ground every day. The fitness industry makes a lot of money by keeping you confused and buying stuff. Keep it simple. Don't overtrain, don't fear fat, don't let your body think it's in starvation mode. That's the formula. If you want to know more about my experience with the carnivore diet and what to expect in the first 30 days, check out my other video linked below. And if you found this video useful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And please subscribe to the channel. I put out new content every week. Thanks for watching.